other sports, Oma Akatugba expresses concern over Osimhen likely move to Napoli. The A Sports journalist Oma Akatugba has shared his thoughts about 22-year-old Super Eagles striker Victor Osimhen's likely move to Napoli after the player travelled to Italy recently for a meeting. In a chat with Hip TV, Oma Akatugba acknowledges that Victor Osimhen is currently one of the brightest stars in the global football scene now, but is only worried if Napoli would make it to the Champions League.
Victor Osimhen's link with Napoli Football Club, it's interesting because Victor has been linked with so many of the big clubs in Europe, in England, and of course in Spain. And then suddenly Napoli comes into the picture. That's why I use the word interesting. No one would have thought that Victor would be going in that direction. And then it's looking very, very likely that Victor Osimhen would sign for Napoli, having flown to Italy to basically look at the facilities, basically look at what things look like in Naples, and of course very, very close to signing the dotted lines. It's something that leaves me almost speechless because I try to imagine what life would be like for Victor in Naples, what life would be like for Victor at Napoli Football Club. Now, Victor scored 13 goals in 27 appearances for Lille Metropole in 2019-2020. And of course, Napoli, on the other hand, have got a striker who is a brilliant player. Arkadiusz Milik is Polish. He also scored, coincidentally, 13 goals in 26 appearances in 2019-2020. So him and Victor are at exactly the same level. But you argue that Italian Serie A is a bigger competition, is a stiffer competition compared to the French Ligue 1. But Victor has got potential. Victor is one of the most, how would I put it, is one of the brightest stars in global football, and of course the brightest Nigerian forward anywhere in the world right now. So you imagine that he's got all it takes to go to Italy and shine and maybe replicate some of the brilliant performances of Obafemi Akinwumi Martins while at Inter Milan. It looks very interesting. I think that Victor will play in Italy. I think that he will get playing time because no club will want to invest such an amount of money on a player and put him on the bench. But my worry is that Napoli don't look like they're going to the Champions League. The reason Victor went to Lille in the first place, he had a Monaco offer, but he opted for Lille because Lille were going to the Champions League. Monaco weren't going to the Champions League. And that was a fantastic move by the young Nigerian. He went to Lille, played in the Champions League, scored about 2 or 3 goals if I'm not mistaken, and boom, the world started talking about him. I think that same trajectory is what I think Victor should follow. Napoli are not in the Champions League. Maybe they will return next season, but as we speak, they don't look like they will get to the Champions League. Victor is the type of a player that is for the big stage. So that is my only worry for Victor as regards the move to Napoli.
Oma Akatugba lauds NFF's efforts to draft players of Nigerian origin raised in Europe into Super Eagles. Speaking on the NFF's efforts in getting the best legs to play for Super Eagles, Oma Akatugba shared this.
Okay, talking about the NFF going around the world, getting every Nigerian or every human being with a Nigerian connection to come play for Nigeria, I think it's not a bad thing because at every senior national team level, what you do is to get your best players. You don't use the national team, which is the zenith of every country's football, to groom, to develop players. It is the place for the best talents to come and help the country. Look at France. France is a very major country in Europe. France is a country with all of the techniques, all of the science to produce fantastic young talent across board. But they rely so much on African players of African origin, and they've won 2 World Cups. What that says to you is that their focus is to win, their focus is to succeed. And where the player is coming from, the geographical location of the player is not important. And I think that's the way to go. Even Brazil with a fantastic league, the league better than all African leagues, but 99.9% of their national team players play in Europe. And that is what the NFF is trying to do. For us to compete against countries like Portugal, countries like France, countries like Spain, Italy at the world stage, we must use our best players. So it is not a bad thing because you need quality players. And the Nigerian players who are born abroad I've been privileged to grow in a system that works, in a system that is technically, that understands the science and modern techniques of football, and they've gone through the right foundation. So when we get those kind of players, they help our national team. Look at the likes of Leon Balogun, the likes of Alex Iwobi, the likes of William Troost Ekong, Semio Ajayi, and recently Joe Aribo and the likes. They've been very integral for the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
Oma Akatugba also stated that the contract extension handed over to Super Eagles coach Janet Raw was a brilliant move for the sake of consistency.
I think it's a good move for the sake of consistency, for the sake of consolidating on what we've built since Genotwa took charge in 2016. You look at his win ratio, it's not something too bad. But I think that he needs to start consolidating on what he has built. He's built a very a solid national team for Nigeria, a team where competition for places is very high, a team where a player can get injured or retire, you don't miss him that much. Victor Moses has retired since Genotwa took over, and he was very, very, very big in the Super Eagles. But we've moved on like there was never a Victor Moses. So I think that Genotwa has been able to build a foundation. Now we give him, I think, 2 more years to consolidate on that foundation. But I also agree that he needs to start winning something, because that is the bottom line. We can't give him so much time, invest so much money, and then there's nothing tangible to show for it. The next Nations Cup in Cameroon, unfortunately, has been postponed to 2022, if I'm not mistaken. Will be a good opportunity for Genotwa to consolidate on everything that he has done. The good thing is we have enough time now to build and build and build, and then present a solid team at the African Nations Cup in Cameroon. Overall, I think Genotwa has done a decent job, but it could be better. So it's up to him now to take it to the next level and win the African Nations Cup. Otherwise, it will amount to failure, because after 4 or 5 years, you need to win something, and then we can all be happy.
That's it on Hip TV News. Hope you enjoyed it. For more news and entertainment stories, please do visit our website on www.hiptv.tv, or you can follow us on Twitter @HipTV.